Hi everyone, and welcome back to Team Dinner. My name is Jack Maloney, and my guest today is Oran McGonagle. Orin, thank you for being here.
No problem at all, man. It's good to be here.
And we are eating shawarma from Garlic and Lemons in Alston. So very exciting.
Very traditional Irish.
That's right. This was Orin's choice, but as I said in our text, I would eat shawarma every day if I could. So let's dive in.
All good.
All right. So first question, which is the weather's getting colder. It's getting rainy and dark and miserable. You are known for having a lot of hearty, warm, filling meals on your menu. Do you have a favorite warm weather meal do you have a favorite meal from McGonagle's to eat when it's cold and dark and dreary outside?
I definitely do. One of the big ones we do, like the way you do our stews and our shepherd's pies, but one of the ones that I would definitely go for would be our bangers and mash. Mm-hmm. Local butcher, Adams Village in Dorchester, does it for us, the Irish butcher. Big jumbo banger, which is different to our normal one. Yeah. And then we do mashed potato, 3 bangers. We do these crispy onions, tobacco onions, we call them in Ireland. And then just smothered in gravy, like, so that is like a big hug on a plate, like. So
yeah.
If you're not feeling warm and cozy after that, like, you've got a cold heart, I think, is the problem.
That's right. That'll warm you from the inside out. Very good. Very good. Well, that next time we'll do that. We'll a big plate of bangers and mash.
Be falling asleep maybe at the table.
Right. Cool. All right. So, next, I'd love to jump back in time, maybe about 20 years, give or take, and talk about, you just doing some research and, your story and coming over here. And I know you worked a couple of different odd jobs at first. And and I'd love to, go back and, what was it about, when you were leaving Ireland? Was it something about Boston? Was it just anywhere that would work out? Like what was kind of the process? What were what was your life like then? And then what were those early years in Boston like for you?
So basically, I was at university in Ireland, 2006-07, was about to graduate. I got an opportunity to do a J1 visa here, it's called. It's like a 3-1 student exchange visa or exchange program. So I decided I would come here. I had a contact here who worked in a bar and worked in a bank. So I gave her a shout and I asked her, would it be okay if I come out? Maybe stayed with her for a week until I found something. So that was all good. I landed out. I got a job in the New England Aquarium. Mm-hmm. There's a big kitchen right underneath the aquarium. Not many people know that. It's a machine down there. I was dishwashing. All good, made a couple of dollars every week, and then I'd done a bit of DJing on the weekend in a bar called the Banshee on Dorchester Avenue. So I loved that. I had a great summer. Like, there was a good bit of partying happening, all that kind of stuff. American dream was alive at that point for me. Like, I was making no money, but I felt like things were good. I went back then and I finished my degree in Ireland, and when I finished that, the recession at worldwide 2008, like, coming out with a business degree, everyone was like, good luck. It couldn't be worse, like, to be honest with you. So I said to myself, I had an opportunity to come for a year. There was another visa I could do, and I was able to get a job in the Banshee, kind of doing like a more management business side, social media, kind of like running their Irish kind of like marketing and stuff like that. There's a lot of like sports from Ireland that you could show over here at the time, so that all worked out for me. I landed out. I loved it then. Like, that was me. Like, I went back that following summer, worked in the aquarium again, done a bit of pizza work and kind of like salad prep, that kind of stuff. And then I was able to transfer over then to a H1B visa, which is a specialist visa. So that was up in Emmett's pub and restaurant up in Beacon Hill, which is now one of the groups, one of our restaurants now. So I got a job there, basically managing. The same idea, was kind of selling that Irish thing and explaining what it was, Irish hospitality, to the staff, and saying like, this is how we do it in Ireland, and really kind of homing in on that, making it really authentic and the Irish bar thing. So started doing that, and from then we've opened Scholars has happened, Carrie Nation, Roxanne's, the Dubliner, McGonagle's, the Cottage in Weymouth. So it all kind of went from there since that, and It's been amazing. Like the American dream definitely worked out for me. Like it happened. I live it every day at the minute.
Yeah.
My family, everything. Like so, I'm very lucky that I kind of went from dishwashing an aquarium to owning my own restaurant. So it's definitely been a dream come true for me.
Yeah. So when you were coming over here, did you think that the food hospitality? Did you think that would be what you would do as you were starting out, or was that where the visa was available and it kind of steered your path, and then you?
No, I knew I wanted to be in it. I was in it a bit in Ireland. My father was a shopkeeper. I grew up in a shop environment, like daily dealing with people, public. I hated the shop.
Yeah.
It was like one of them things when it's your parents' business, and it's just that's what you got to do every day, even from a young age. There was like we were 6, 7 years of age up putting away things on shelves. So when I got to like 14 and 15, I asked my dad if the rule in our house was you had to work, and if it wasn't in the shop, you were going to work somewhere else, even though you were at school. So bit of old school vibes, but I'm thankful for it now. But I was able to get a job lifting glasses in a bar in my local town, and he kind of says, right, if you get that, you don't have to do the shop thing. So once I got into the bar scene, the music, all that kind of stuff, I had an interest in DJing at the time anyway, so I was able to kind of make their playlists for the restaurant and for the bar at night time. So once I hit that, I knew bars was where I wanted to be in, and that stood to me, because when I come out here, I was way ahead of most when it came to like even just atmosphere, lighting, things like that. I was, from a young age, I knew kind of I knew how to set it and set the scene and get it kind of where people could feel that the atmosphere was right.
Right. So you've been working in pubs since you were a boy, a small boy.
Yeah, 14 I think was my first time lifting glasses, things like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating.
Which seems crazy now because I'm 40 now, so when I say to people I've been doing it like 25, 26 years, they're like, what?
Doing the math in their head, yeah.
They're like, well, okay, and then that's kind of like career mode, like at this stage, like so. It stood to me, and been good so far.
You mentioned it just now, and I know it's a big thing to you, which is Irish hospitality, right? And I'd love to talk about that if you can kind of distill it down into like what that means to you, and what you try to impart on your teams at your places, and what is Irish hospitality to you?
So Irish hospitality to me, and it's something that it's part of my business model in all my locations, is the atmosphere, the hug in the room, the virtual hug. I mean, like it's just I have a thing where I think that what we do regarding hospitality makes our food and our drink taste better. Yeah. We also try and set a level of food where we're not trying to over exceed. Yeah. We feel like if we are here and someone comes in and goes, wow, that was there, that's where we want to be. Yeah. But I think that our atmosphere helps that there go up. Yep. So I try and put that into my staff, especially like initial reactions, how welcoming people, all them little things, like enthusiastic about meeting people. I don't know if like it's something I feel now in a lot of service industry is when let's say you call a plumber and say, hey, I need you to come and fix a sink. There's nearly a negative there. Yeah. But I feel in our restaurant, our business, we're not allowed to. We have to be like, hey, come on, and welcome. Yeah. Whereas the plumber's like, I might get there. Yeah. You're like, well, I'm trying to give you money. Yeah. Whereas in hospitality, we still have this old school thing where we like, thank you very much. We really appreciate your business. And a lot of services, I don't feel that back.
I agree.
And I feel like people listening will agree to that, because there's still some old school people who do that, who do make you feel like that. Mm-hmm. Like I work with some people and I try to work with them as much as I can. But I try and instill that in maybe some of our new service staff and things like that are used to this kind of level of service now, where I'm like, that's not what it is. Yeah. You got to make them feel so welcome here that whenever they get their big plate or their fish and chip or whatever it is, it tastes so much better. Yeah. And my job then is to create the other side of it, where our music, our atmosphere, our lighting is all on point, where it's warm and it feels like a cozy Irish pub. Mm-hmm. I want people to feel like they're back in Ireland when they come into our bars. Like we do a lot with our build-outs and use Irish carpenters, things like that there, to make it look really authentic. So I guess all that, in a way, is hospitality to me, and that Irish style is the big hug, the virtual hug. Yeah. You're more than welcome to be here. We want you to be here. We hope you have the best time ever. And I feel like we're doing that right now. Yeah. We obviously, sometimes we don't get it, and I know that also. And I can tell most of the time when we get a negative review if it's a real one.
Right.
I'm very good at saying that happened in my restaurant.
Yeah.
Where sometimes you get other reviews where people are just angry, but I have like a thing where I can look and chat to my managers and be like, what happened there? Because that definitely happened, and I feel that person felt that. So we try and work on all them little things then, but we're constantly trying to get it to people where it's not just about the food and the drink. It's about, more so for me, it's about a lot of other things. Yeah. Rather than that, I think we can make that stuff taste and look better by how we make them feel.
Yeah, that's great. I appreciate that. And then that just made me think of a question, which is, if you close your eyes and you picture your favorite pubs across, not just yours, but anywhere, right? What is a characteristic that great pubs share? What, from yours to what are you trying to put forth in yours? But yeah, what do all great pubs have in common?
I think they have that. Like I could walk into, let's say, Mr. Dooley's in Boston. Uh-huh. It's not one of my locations, but I know they have that.
Yeah.
They've warm, the dark woods, the lighting's always on point. And whoever created these bars has thought about that, like, and they've thought about what way the light is, and like as an old Victorian, like that kind of look and things like that for a pub. Whereas I could go into a bar that has an Irish flag outside and be like, they don't know that, like, and they just created an Irish pub because it's maybe pints of Guinness are on trend, or their great grandfathers from Ireland, and it's called whatever it's called. But as I say, like even in Ireland, when I walk into like my locals, Rosados and things like this in my town in Ireland, they have it like the fire's on. Yeah. It's always on. It could be like absolutely sweltering there, which is very random in Ireland, in fairness, but it's on because that's part of what they do. Like, and it's a pure welcome to have an open fire in a pub as well. It's very restricted in Boston to be able to do it with the open fire law thing. So I wish I could light a fire in some of my restaurants. Well, we in Emmett we have like a fake one, but it creates the ambience. But and people love sitting around it, but it's not as real as the real deals. But I think getting all them little markers that I said about that Irish hospitality, I can feel that when I go into a bar, and I think a lot of people can. They go in and they feel warm and they feel welcome. Yeah.
And then I think similarly, I think you do really well at all your places is the incorporation of music. And whether it's a DJ or a live band, and can you speak to sort of the importance of music when it comes, in your opinion, and maybe not to ask you to speak for all of Ireland, but certainly in your opinion, what role does music play, and how important is it into what you do?
It's massive for me now. It's a big part of my whole business model. All locations, even like Carrie Nation, we put a live music stage in the front room. Put a DJ in the speakeasy. We don't charge a cover. I wanted to create this room where you could come and have dinner, get a live band, maybe go out the back, have a nice cocktail, and it could be a DJ, a whole different atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And when we done that, it totally changed that whole space. Yeah. Like we're lined out right up around the corner now every weekend, and it's something where we've added it to all our locations. Like, as I say, McGonagle's, with the New York Times thing, we do get a different crowd coming in now that may be a bit more foodie-esque. Yeah. Where when we have a live band, they are like, what is going on here? But that's exactly what I'm selling. And one of the comments was we have a boisterous dinner service, which I loved. Yeah. Which someone said, oh, that sounds a bit... I'm like, no. That's a perfect definition of what we're doing. Yeah. We are a pub. We're not a restaurant. We're an Irish pub. And we have to have that atmosphere in a pub where we have... The guy coming in, working in Union, having a Bud Light, could be sitting beside the girl who came from the New York Times. They have the spice bag. That's right. I want them mixing together. I want the both of them to feel really comfortable in my bar, and then I want them to. I also want the guy that's wearing his work clothes to feel really comfortable. Yeah. So creating that atmosphere where we have energy, and we might have a band like saying playing. Last Saturday we had a band start at 7 p.m. During dinner service. Mm-hmm. Which is like, for a lot of people, they're like, are you sure you want to do that? I'm like, let's go for it. Yeah. And my host and my manager, Dominic, who does all my open table, he was like, you're putting me under pressure here big time, because some people are like, I don't want to be near the band. Yeah. And he's like, well, I don't have any other seats, so it is what it is. But I think at the end of the day, if you get what we're trying to do, you're going to enjoy yourself. Yeah. The food's going to taste the same. We're just going to give you a bit more energy in the room. It also is a big thing with our whole like financial plan. We're getting this late night drinking crowd that are coming as well, which obviously is big to what we're doing now these days. Selling alcohol and selling booze is a big part of our model as well, where that's how we kind of make a lot of our money, like, because everything else is very tight right now. So we bring that in everywhere, and it's working for us. Where most of our restaurants in the weekends have lines outside them.
Yeah.
As I say, we don't charge cover anywhere, which is a big thing. I feel that's unfair to charge people to go in to charge them again.
Yeah.
I always found that was the case.
Yeah.
I think if we can keep doing what we're doing, we're going to keep getting people supporting us for them kind of things.
Yeah. I think, have you noticed in the 20-ish years that you've been in the Boston area, have you noticed a shift in drinking culture generally? Yeah, is it different? I know that's something that's discussed here. People bring up a lot. I'd be curious.
Yeah, we do. We definitely, we're an Irish pub.
Yeah.
Like, to think 10 years ago I'd be serving non-alcoholic Guinness to people.
Yeah.
That's like, you're crazy. Like, what? I think we all had to change our whole perception. Now, I come from a country which is notorious with booze.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a stereotype for us. But we have become a lot more open to talk about that now, to be like, you can go out and not have a drink. Like, that wouldn't have been a thing in Ireland. Like, it would have been there would have been people like, what's wrong with your man? Like, I don't trust him anymore, that kind of thing. Or don't speak around him because he's not drinking. So I think society in general has been a lot more acceptable of that. But I have zero issues with it. I try and what we try and do is we try and make our cocktail lists in all our locations now exactly the same visually and serve the same non-alcoholic. Yeah. So if you are, let's say you're in a crowd where you don't want them to know you're not drinking, you can order that there and we'll serve it the same way and nobody will actually know that. Or if you just want to tell us, I don't want to, we'll do that for you. Yeah. Now, products like Guinness Zero have been revolutionary for us because it's a really good product. Like, we're waiting for them to come here on the draft. I think it's going to really turn it up. Like, I've had it in Ireland. What people don't realise is because there's no alcohol in a lot of beer and things like that, the freeze levels are totally different. Yeah. When it's in a line now, there's a way more issues with, like, what do you call it, the little microisms that come in the beer lines. I'm trying to think of the name now, but there's a lot more issues with cleaning the lines because alcohol is a natural cleaner, so you have to clean it a lot more often. So you get a lot of problems there with the draft versions, but I think they figured it out. And we've talked to Guinness now about maybe us being one of the first bars in America to get the 0-0 on draft.
Yeah. I would love to talk quickly just about Guinness and about your process for Guinness because my knowledge of Guinness is that it tastes better in Ireland than it does here, right? That's kind of the extent of my knowledge. But I know that's something that you've been working on with the diameter of the piping or the tubing.
Yes,
and I'd love to just quickly touch on that because I do think that's important because a lot of people probably are coming to you because I think you are becoming very well known for having a great pint of Guinness. So yeah, what was that process like, and yeah, how did you arrive at where you're at now?
Well, obviously where I come from, Guinness is it's a quality product. It has to be respected. It's probably the hardest beer to pour in the world. It's very temperamental, so the gas mixes, things like that. So I've always been into it. I've always kind of wanted to be geeky, right? So basically what we've done is we're chatting to Guinness a lot. I have a good few friends now that work at home in St James's Gate, things like that. So I decided to import in these half-inch lines because Guinness in Ireland's poured in half-inch lines. Every beer in America is in quarter-inch lines. So that changes the pressure on the gas. Yeah. The thing with Guinness is it shouldn't be poured with all our beers, but every bar, we were the first bar I think in America to do this. So whenever I asked about the half-inch lines in Micromatic, we're like, what are you doing? Like, and I'm like, no, I want my own tube just for Guinness. So most of them come up in a tube and there's maybe 12 beers in the one tube. They're all chilled exactly the same. They all come from the one glycol unit. Yeah. So I said I want a separate glycol unit and I want my own tubes coming in for Guinness. So we managed to do it. We brought them in from Ireland. They were all half-inch lines. We then put in our own glycol system, which is a different thing. So I have it 2 degrees higher than all the rest of my beers. That's a game changer. Like, that's us getting as close as we can to what Ireland is doing. I also do a bit of a difference on my lagers. My lager mix is 50-50. Most of the places in America are 60-40. I have a little bit more carbonation in mine. If you ever had a pint in Ireland, there's way more bubbles, there's way better heads. Our glassware is way better. So I bought the nucleated glass for my lagers here, which have little bubbles on the bottom. They have little markers on the bottom that's like engraved, but the bubbles react to that, and it gives you a better head on the pint.
Yeah.
But Guinness-wise, we make our own glassware. We use a 20-ounce tulip, it's called, which is a traditional Guinness glass. They got rid of them a good few years ago. They're starting to bring them back now. We feel like we are part of that influence because I think a lot of bars said, what are these guys doing?
Yeah.
And why can we not pour out of that glass? They were using a gravity glass, which is made by Guinness. You get them for free. I buy my own. I make it myself. It's a perfect Guinness glass. It cleans really well. It means you have a good bit of stick on the glass, and it's really good for the domage as well. So all them little things we put in, we're constantly watching it. We're constantly watching temperature. We quality control it. We stick in probes. We make sure we're hitting them little markers.
Yeah.
If you talk to my staff, they absolutely hate me for it. I'm not even joking. Like it's a whole thing in our company, but I'm trying to just get it right there where people now are, as you say, they're starting to realise we were number one in America last year for Guinness sales. The Dubliner were like 20,000 ahead of the next person, which is amazing. That was like a real big moment for me professionally, where I was like, something's going right here.
Yeah.
Now Guinness is a total trend right now. It's massive. Like everyone's drinking. You know, the split the G thing.
Yeah.
Which is amazing for business. I'm not going to lie. Everyone, like in Ireland, it's kind of like frowned upon.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what's the problem? Some of these people are drinking it, missing the G, putting it away and asking for another pint. I'm like, no problem.
Yeah.
Good luck. And they're taking their social media videos.
God bless.
I know. But, well, as they say, only in America.
Yeah, that's right.
And Guinness are also like, God bless America.
Yeah.
Because they are selling, I think it's massive. Or Boston Metro, I read yesterday, someone sent me, is the number one market in America right now, and it's trending up the way. Like, so that's every bar now is bringing in Guinness. Like, not even just Irish bars, there's a lot of bars bringing it in. They know they can sell it. Like, it's what I'm kind of put out there now, and why we do a lot of what we're doing is we're trying to show them how to do it.
Yeah.
Do it properly. Make sure you're cleaning your glasses properly. Make sure you're pouring your pint properly. Right up to the harp, stop, let it sit.
Yeah.
We have people lift that in that moment too.
Yeah.
There's people actually take that off.
Reach over the bar and grab it. Yeah.
You're like,
poor form, yeah.
Leave it, man. Or quality takes time also, like, you know.
Yeah.
Perfection takes time, I should say.
That is, that's fascinating. And I think Boston having the most is like, because Boston, you know, the metro area is pretty big, but there's a lot of bigger cities out there, right? Like even think New York, Chicago, some of these cities, and they drink a lot of beer there too.
Yeah. Well, honestly, God, that was that's like a beer magazine yesterday that had it in it. There were number, and I well believe it. Like we know by talking to the Guinness guys, like the Dubliner's up 10% on last year, and it was number one last year. Wow. So that's mega. Like. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's why Guinness gives you the attention, right?
They do. In fairness, now lately they've been very nice to me.
Yeah.
Ireland are playing rugby in Chicago on Saturday against New Zealand, and the Guinness were like, "Here's 4 tickets," and they're good. They're good. I'm not going now, but some of my staff are going, so it's a little treat for them, man, to get down. And I love doing that, and I love working with good vendors who kind of work hand in hand and do stuff like that where. They kind of, I can give my staffs little things like that and little treats and get them away and reward them for their hard work and reward them for listening to me about the Guinness also.
Yeah. Well, see, your attention to detail for them paid off, right? I'm sure.
I think so. I think Guinness likes it too.
Yeah. Oh.
And everything's online now, so all the pictures are going up. So when you see a bad pint, I cringe now when I see it. Yeah. But more and more lately, I'm not seeing it, which is amazing for every bar in the city and all the bartenders and all that. I think everyone's starting to realise there's a way of doing it and it has to be done right.
I like it. All right, Orin. I've got some, now we're going to go to the rapid fire question. Bro. I might pepper in some other, I'll be honest with you. I have not, this is the 24th of these. This is the most questions I've ever written down. So you've picked my
I get a reward?
Yeah. The shawarma is what you get.
I was wondering, am I going to get a check at the
end? This would be if you had friends and family visiting and you were going out for a night in Boston. I'm going to ask you for a place you'd like to take people for a special occasion that's something you're not affiliated with.
Yeah,
a restaurant you love that is is
Not my
unaffiliated.
own.
Yes.
I actually don't like bringing people to my own because I end up watching what's going on around me and I don't enjoy myself.
Hard to relax.
But definitely, place for me where I go back to all the time, where I was there on Saturday when my sister and my brother-in-law were just here, is Abe and Louis, Boylston. I'm a very old school hospitality head. I love that, as I say, that welcome when you go in. The old school vibes in there, I just love. Food's great. It's probably not the best steakhouse, but as I said earlier on, everything tastes better when they get it right.
I agree.
So I go in there, I like that old school vibe. I love the people working there have been there forever.
Yep.
That's a massive sign of somewhere that's doing it right. Like when they literally stay there for life.
Yep.
Career, servers, bartenders, everything. And they always get it. They always get it right. Whenever, like, even I've been in there, met some of the staff when I came back. Yeah. They definitely have little tricks. Yeah. They must be like, there's no way he remember my name, like, but they must have wrote something down to get, and he went back and he got my name.
That's incredible.
And I just love that there, where I'm in the business and I go, he's got a marker there, something got my name to him again, but he done it, like, and like people around me are like, how did you get? I'm like, I don't know, but like, it works.
I agree.
And everybody I brought there has said the same thing, where they just love how they do it.
Yeah.
I was just there Saturday evening. That would be my place to go with, definitely.
I agree. I think I love Abe and Louis. I love that old school steakhouse. I think I'm the same as you. I think, like, you could take me to, like, the trendiest, hottest steakhouse that has the best, just the steak on the plate. But it's not what I want, really. I want, like, leather and dark wood and old men. As, a guy who's in his 60s. That's the waiter who's been there. That's what I want. I like, the place. Have you ever been to Longhorn Steakhouse on the Pike there? So again, I don't think that would win any steak awards. But you go in the winter, that big fireplace is roaring. To your point, it's
I guarantee that place has got regulars all the time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I would rather, and I don't want to sound like, I think the steak there is great. I don't mean to be disparaging, but I would take a B steak with that, everything, 10 times out of 10 over an A steak in a place that feels cold and unwelcoming.
I'm the same. I've been to, like, I don't know if you heard of Poppy Steak in Miami. It's Dave Grootman's.
Yeah.
Where they have, like, the briefcase.
I know of it. I've never been there yet.
Me and my wife went there, like, and it was cool. I love Grootman's thing. I love what he does. He's an amazing hospitality guy, but I went in there. That's like a nightclub steakhouse. Yeah. Where I was like, all right, this is totally bananas. Yeah. And the steak was unreal. Like, it was unbelievable. But give me Abe and Louis any day.
I agree.
All day.
I agree. All right. This next one is, I think, a fun question, which is, if you can pick your perfect day of eating in Boston, Massachusetts, which is you get to go out for a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. It's your perfect day of eating around here. Do you have, does anything come to mind?
Yeah, so I'm going to give breakfast sandwich, the Irish butcher who we use for all our meats. He does a killer breakfast, does his own sausages, black and white pudding, bacon, all in a really good, a bap we call it in Ireland, but a bun or something you would call it here, or a roll, a bulky roll. There in Adams Village, that's where he's based. Killer spot. Like, he does all, like, for Thanksgiving now, he'll do, like, Irish ham, turkeys. He'll do the whole Thanksgiving dinner for you as well if you want. But that's where we go and get all our Irish kind of product. So a breakfast sandwich out of there in the morning, runny egg, wrapped up in tin foil even, and just let it egg soak into everything. Yep. Definitely, that would be one shout. Lunch-wise, I'd probably do Lambert's in Dorchester. Savage, like deli. They have a whole salad section, deli meats, but then they do really good sandwiches as well, like hots, colds, everything. So that's kind of a neighbourhood. And I like old school again. Like, I like going in there. The people working there all their lives. It's old. Like, everything's old in the place as well. Like, people and the shelving and everything in it. But I'm a fan of that kind of stuff. And then maybe dinner-wise, can't say Abe and Louis, really, can I? Because I just said that. There's one place I do love. It's another steak, but it's one thing in particular is their tater tots and Moo. They make their own tater tots.
I've not had them.
Oh my God.
They're good.
And I remember being in there, and I always go in and sit at the bar because it's right beside Emmett's and Carrie Nation on Beacon Hill there. They have an Opave steak, and the guy working the bar, the bartender, says, get the tater tots. And I was like, tater tots to me are like the frozen ones I throw in the air fryer. I was like, tater tots, okay. So I says, yeah, why not? And they were killer.
Okay.
And I'll go back there all the time for them.
I gotta go
So
now.
anyone listening, if they knows that, or go and get it.
All right. Well, I've gone to Moo a couple times. I've not had the tater tots.
You probably wouldn't pick it, like.
No, yeah.
Only he told me, he's like, get it. I was like, okay.
So, having been now in Boston nightlife and hospitality, I think something that comes on a lot, we talk a lot about here is what we do well and where do you think there's opportunity for improvement generally, right? Not if you zoom out 30,000 square feet and you look at Boston as a city and nightlife, what do you think is kind of going well here? And do you think broadly that there's stuff that could be done better and it might be because of politicians or whoever that it's we're not doing that. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I like where they're going with the political side now. They're trying the nightlife director, Corinne, and then how they're trying to change that scene, and that's going to take time. Yeah. The other thing about that is there isn't a big want for that right now. So they have to get that right. Yeah. People say like it should be open to 4 a.m. I have 2 o'clock license. I close at 1. Yeah, that's a thing. Like, and people need to realize that. And a lot of the people in the business, and I do love that they're bringing us into these conversations instead of just creating these things. Yeah. A lot of people in the business are aware that there isn't that want there yet. Yeah. And you might read the comments, why is it not open like other cities? Yeah. It's not there right now. Yep. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Boston is slow. So that's one thing. I like the way we're going with these more experiential things happening, like as I talked about that run club, them kind of things. I do like that trend. I like seeing like Park City are doing these like wellness mornings in Southie, which is amazing. Like the crowds are showing up to that. I love that they're doing that. They're not just going for the drinker and live music and put them too. That's been happening for years. So I also, an opportunity for me, I'm going to go back to that old school hospitality thing. Yeah. I think some places can really improve on that. Mm-hmm. I think working with their staff, creating that atmosphere in the restaurant where it's not just like, here you go. Yeah. Like you should be welcome to eat our food, or you should feel welcome to eat our food. I think a lot of places can work on that. Yep. Because you do go in there and the food is great, but you don't get the other buzz off it. Right. And I will go back to that every time, that is key to everything. I think it's a massive part of why we're successful right now. Mm-hmm. And I will forever, I'll die on that sword actually, that it's going to be the thing that makes me successful is that I keep making people feel welcome in my restaurants before they eat or drink. Yeah. So I think people working on that a bit more, keep up the experimental thing, and then let's work with City and see what actually works. Yeah. As I say, the food truck thing, brilliant. I'm going to try and get into that space now myself with our little chipper van, which is Bia box, you call it. Bia is Irish for food. Mm-hmm. So we have a little food box. We're going to do some pop-ups outside McGonagle's now maybe. We have a 1 year anniversary in December, so we're going to give out some free Irish-style chipper food, I think, for a day to the locals and the people around Dorchester. That's great.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you mentioned Corinne. We had Corinne on, and she's I think so willing to try anything and listen to the community. And I think you're right. I think people don't understand a couple of things. They don't understand that Mayor Wu in her office, she can't wave a magic wand and change things, right? You need it's the way that people don't fundamentally understand the way the state is set up to operate, right? Then you need to get legislators, on Beacon Hill to work with the mayor, and it's complicated, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing, I think you're absolutely right, and I think someone was on here once and said, that you can only have places that people support, right? And people think that we're not New York City, we're not Chicago because of X, Y, or Z, and it's like I've been to bars at midnight that are supposed to be crowded on a Friday night, and there's no one in there, right? And it's just you gotta meet people where they are, and I agree with you entirely that there are some really loud voices out there that like to point out what Boston is not, without taking 1 minute to understand why and what the best solutions are, not just keep things open till 4, right?
100%, and their costs and everything that goes with that. We're all fighting them, right? Like minimum wages going up, different things that's happening. So as I say right now, I'd rather people, like I do the thing where I have a 2 o'clock everywhere. I try and slow the bar down 1 o'clock, but people leave gradually. They all get Ubers gradually. Yeah. There's not a big crowd on the street anymore, but also they leave wanting more of it, which is a killer for me because then they're like, that was a great night. I wish it went on longer. Yeah. But they want more the next week. Yeah. So I'm giving it to them the next weekend. Yeah. But there may be a time where it all works and we can make that happen. But as I say, like I was in the North End last night. It was quiet everywhere. That's 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So like, what are they doing? And they're like a competitive part of the city.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. It's, you know, and I'll also say, as someone who's aged out of that late night period, but as someone who lived in New York City in his early 20s, I don't think a single good thing happened to me between 2 and 4. Right. That's the other thing you gotta really, I think, be 100%. Honest about is that I moved to LA, which is an earlier city, and I remember that first couple of years I was like, you know, I was complaining. I said, this is in New York, but being able to now be in my late 30s and look back in with a clear head, nothing good happened to me between 2 and 4 a.m. Right?
100%.
And some bad stuff did happen.
I know,
right?
it's the witching hours, man. That's the witching hours, and like I have a theory as well that if you close earlier, people might go out earlier.
Yeah.
That's another thing, and that's good for us.
That's the thing, in New York City, you eat dinner at 11 o'clock. It's like, what? I don't like that either,
yeah,
right? My wife was just there last week, and they had dinner reservation at 10 o'clock. She said, I can't do this.
Oh, that's crazy to me, even thinking about that.
10 o'clock dinner reservation. And it was a bunch of New Yorkers, and she said no one even batted an eyelash. It was just regular.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Nah, I want to be done, and I want to be serving you drink by 8 o'clock if I can.
Yeah.
If you're going to stay out,
and
your dinner's you're done. Like I would love that, but you're right. Anything after 2 o'clock is
bad news.
It's not like it's not, things happen.
That's right. All right, and then in kind of closing here, I have a couple more questions, which would be, you know, one, you know, we've covered I think a lot of your time the last 20 years, but you know, what if the young lad who's working in the aquarium washing dishes, you know, could walk into McGonagle's or the Dubliner or anywhere now, what would that guy think? What would that 1920, however, 21-year-old version of yourself, what would that guy think now, walking into McGonagle's, let's say?
What would he think? I think he'd be proud. There was not a notion in my head back then that I was going to do what I'm doing now or have these restaurants, but I think he'd be proud. I'm a big fan of immigrants in general that come here.
Yeah.
I think we make it very hard for them now lately, but a lot of what we do, we try and support as many as we can. I think the scene in the city is a very immigrant city. Like, it's obviously the Irish history, the Italian history, things like that there. But I think he'd be proud of where he came from, and he'd be looking around now with the New York Times thing, being like, let's go.
Yeah.
But he's also Irish, so he says, don't get ahead of yourself.
That's right.
And the Irish will never let you do that.
That's right.
You're never going to have an ego if you're Irish. Like, they just won't let you. Like, they just... I'll go back home and there's the yank, like I'll be called, or I might say getting gas. These things in my town, it's 1,000 people. If I say I'm going to get gas, I'm getting destroyed. Cell phone.
Yeah.
All them little things.
Petrol?
Petrol, you're going to get petrol, or you've mobile phone, or bucks.
Yeah.
I might say, much is that? They might say €7. I might say, well, there's $10.
Yeah.
Like the whole bar, you know, like the silence.
Yeah, scratch the record. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
So I'm coming back here being like, okay, we got to go again.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'd love to talk, about the New York Times, right? So you're on this journey for a long time. The phone rings, or however you get the information. You've been named, one of the...
Didn't know.
You didn't know. How did you find out, and what goes through your head in that moment?
So we got a request for some pictures of items from food and drinks, things like that there. So the Guinness thing is a big thing. Most of our stuff gearing up to that point was what we're doing Guinness-wise, all them kind of things. And we were hitting like New York Times. We were in it for our Guinness, that kind of thing last year. So I thought it must be something related to that in a way. Now, bear in mind, this thing is never on my radar. Yeah. I'm never thinking New York Times 50 best restaurants. I know exactly what it is, but I'm putting it like Michelin star things, all them really high-end restaurants. So it actually never comes into my head. So I say to Chef Aidan, I was like, what do you think it is? He's like, I have no idea. So then the day before the article, we get a note from the reporter saying that you're going to be in the 50 best restaurants in America. Yeah. So you can imagine where I'm at then. Like, I'm like, there's tears, there's trying to explain to people that don't know what it is. Like, this is like the biggest thing ever that's going to happen to an Irish pub. It's great for everyone who works in Irish pubs, not just for us. And then the next day it came out. So we're we're blown away. Like it's been truly unbelievable, like experience to be in it. We're humbled to be in it. We are very proud that we're an Irish pub in it.
Yeah.
We're very proud Irish people in general, and we love the fact that they recognise what we were trying to do there. Because as I said, some people don't get it, but the lady that was there, and I believe she came like for lunch one day. We didn't know obviously she was there, but I think she came twice and had the spice bag, and she mentioned the spice bag being this like crazy ensemble of Chinese Irish takeaway, which I'm sure people are reading that being like, they're serving Chinese food in an Irish restaurant. But we're known for serving curry for years in a restaurant, like Indian food and different variations of different foods. So we you can imagine our spice bag sales went through the roof. And we love that. It's fun. The whole thing's fun. Tearing open the bag, pouring the curry. It's all a bit of fun, and it's lighthearted, and it's exactly what a pub should be. Enjoy yourself and don't have any like expectations too high. Like come in and think, right, I'm going to sit and have a nice meal here. I'm going to get good service, and we're going to have a good time. And there might be some live music, and it could be a band from Ireland, or it could be a famous worldwide superstar like Ed Sheeran in the Dubliner. That's the way it could be.
That's great. That's great. That is congratulations. I mean,
thank you very much.
That is well deserved and incredibly exciting, and what a funny way to have it all come down.
Yeah. It's been huge, and again, the thank yous and all. That's a big part of my staff as well. I have to. I'd be remiss not to say that a lot of them get it, and that's the reason why we're getting these things. Is they're creating them scenes for me now, like and. We're working with them on it, and they set the scene, and they provide that hospitality that we're trying to show to people, that Irish hospitality, and I love that people are recognising it now. Yeah. It's amazing.
I love it. And then, in closing here, you have a lot on your plate, but you talked a little bit before, and I think you're always has your eye towards opportunities and what might exist. And do you have anything we want to talk about? What's on your radar for 2026, 2027, beyond, and what where do you, when you catch yourself a moment to yourself, where does your mind go into the future?
I think the beer box is my next thing. I just wrapped it now. It's got a tricolour on the back of it, the Irish, it says the Irish chipper van. We just installed all our equipment. We just passed all our fire certificate things that got there. I'm really excited about trying out things in there. That's where I want to experiment different things and have a bit of fun. And me and Aidan are going to get into it ourselves and actually service it ourselves. So we're gearing up now to basically go at that. I'd say we have hundreds and hundreds of requests for people to book it. There's a lot of like day 2 weddings. Yeah. People want us to show up at their kids' parties and things like that, and just show up and just do a lot of Irish food, things like that there. So. And we've loads more Irish food to introduce. We've loads more Irish street food to introduce that we haven't. We do it online on Uber Eats. We do a little secret Irish chipper menu if you go on to McGonagle's Uber Eats, which we're flat out doing now, because a lot of the Irish know exactly what it is. But I think we can bring it into the mainstream a little bit more with Beer Box. So we're going to get on that now, and I think that's going to be my next project where I'm going to home in on that and try and nail that down and find out who's going to be able to take it to like, say, the Irish festivals and things like that and show up at them. We have a lot of requests for that too. So I am going to try and get on that now. But as I say, the New York Times thing is blowing us up. So we are, like, I'm going back there now to manage McGonagle's this evening and give my manager half a day off. Yeah. Because it's just been so chaotic. So well, that's where we're at now. And then I'd love to open another Irish pub. My wife's not going to like me saying that, but I think that's where we're at now. And if I find the right venue, and I'm very cautious about that, it has to be right for me. I have to have that feeling that, and I got that out of all our locations. So I'm going to stick with that gut feeling. We have had offers to do other things, like even Miami, the soccer team in Miami asked us to go down and do something in their new stadium. Yeah. Which I went back and called them and was like, I want you to talk to me and tell me what it is. But I knew in my head it was never going to be something that if I can't touch it every day, I knew I wouldn't be able to do it. But they loved the fact of the Irish pub and the New York Times thing, and they wanted to do an Irish, kind of like a Irish Englishy, like soccer bar kind of vibe, and they wanted us down to kind of help them get it going. But it wasn't for me. But I'm hoping someday I can do another one in Boston and try and just keep going what we're doing. We're progressing.
I love it. Well, thank you 1,000 times for coming here and talking to me.
Thank you very much.
I didn't let you eat much. That's
all good.
my fault.
I'm gonna
too many questions.
in my own private place now. I'm gonna enjoy this here. Trust me.
Yeah. But please, come back anytime, Orin. It was an absolute pleasure. And best of luck closing out this year and into next year.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Well done with everything you're doing as well and highlighting people in the industry.
Thank you.
I'm a follower and keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All good.